Okay, here's a test for you. How many of you take the MTR? MTR in Hong Kong. Most of you don't you? You have the Batatong? All right, here's a test for you. How many watches do I have on? Put your hand up if you think I have one watch. Put your hand up if you think I have two. 3. All right, I have 2. Okay. Some of you are not observant, all right, enough, okay. So this tells the time. Well, it doesn't always, it's always slow, so it tells the correct time twice a day. This one here, this doesn't work. It still tells the time twice a day too. But this is my Batatong, you know, the octopus. Octopus watch, so the MTR, okay. So it's just... So when you take the MTR, you just use this, and it's connected to the bank, and I'm connected to the MTR. Okay, so seriously, this is very important to you because you are customers of the MTR. So now I can ask you by survey, which do you think is most important to you? All of these attributes are important. Oh, a very trick question. They're all important. How can you say one's more important than the other, right? Okay, that's fine. Look, they're all important, but I'll force you to do a ranking. Why? Because the MTR, they survey their passengers for this. They do focus groups. Big organisations, all of them are doing this most of the time. Okay? And I've got some results of this survey that they did. So I want you to see if you can guess what the MTR found out to be most important among their travellers. Okay? Most, then second, then third. So I want you to take 45 seconds now to rank what you think is most important to least. Have you got the most in your mind? At least do the top 3. Okay, at least do the top 3. Top 3. This is important. Safety is important. Wow, journey time is important. Waiting time, everything's important. But which is most important? Have you all got your top 3 in place? Yes? Yes. Up the back, you got your top 3? Okay. All right, so here we have it. Ventilation in train. How many of you had ventilation as number 1? Hands up. No one. No one. You don't care about breathing on the train.
I put it as number 2.
Okay, who had it as number 2? All right, some of you want to breathe some of the time. Okay, that's good. All right, safety, reliability, enough announcements on trains. Okay, we don't care about this too much anymore. You know why? Because now we can get sound isolation earphones and we can control that, right?
Yes.
All right. This lecture was brought to you by Etymotic and Shure, the best sound isolation earphones in the world. Okay, now back to the lecture. All right, so we have customer profitability matrix, and probably if we ask Grace would probably say that I'm very low and I'm over here probably, very demanding, okay? Just ring up, but I got no investment. I got a complaint about an e-statement. You charged me $100 for the credit card because I didn't spend much on it for the last 365 days, okay? Of course, organisations want these type of customers. Why? They're very profitable and they're very low maintenance. So where are you? Where are you? Where are you as a bank customer? Hands up if you feel you're over here. Huh? Yes, hands up if you think you're over here. Okay, you got $10 million maybe, okay, all right. But this, let's be clear, All right? Remember, management accounting is about, number one, supporting economic decisions and influencing people in the organisation. So this lecture is about, well, how can we use information to make better economic decisions? And we're focusing on just looking at our customers. And if we can better allocate the sales, admin and financing costs to customers, then we can make better economic decisions about which ones to keep, which ones to look after better, things like that. Okay? Because they're bringing in the revenue. Okay, how many of you know what this is? Traffic light. Okay. Let me give you a true story. How do I know it's true? Because I read it in the Wall Street Journal about 8.5 years ago, and it was about a bank in the US that when customers ring up, there was a little stoplight on the side of the operator's monitor. And if that customer was a profitable customer, guess which light flashed on the monitor? Red. This one here. If the customer was not profitable, guess which light flashed? This one here. So guess what would happen in the response? The profitable customer asked for something. Guess what happened? Mainly yes. What can we do for you? If it was red, well, sorry sir, but our policy says this, this and this. We can't help you. I'm sorry, that's our policy. You know? And seriously, the bank was doing it. I'm not sure if the same bank is doing it now, but I did read this in the Wall Street Journal. It was about 8 years ago. Okay, but this is the mentality of when we're thinking about customers being different in terms of profitability. Okay, so next time you go into a shop, I want you to think about it. Are you a profitable customer or not? Yeah.
Do you know if the bank saw that the customer is currently profitable or going to be profitable?
That's a very good question. So the question is, do you know if banks focus on, well, whether customers are currently profitable or they're going the potential for future profitability? For example, all of you in this classroom, right? Yes. Okay, so that's a good point. I'm going to come to hold that for about 30 seconds. Now, you all know this store in New York, right? So that was the Apple store, the launch. And then you know this store. People are lining up to get what here? Yeah, that was before the financial crisis. People are lining up here not to get an iPhone, but to get their money back, okay? And that was about 6 months later after the financial crisis, because the iPhone was launched about June 2007, not long after the financial crisis hit. And there are people lining up because AIA nearly went under at that stage. Okay. Customer profitability in an insurance company. What I'm going to do now is give you a quick example of customer profitability in an insurance company, and then we're going to have a break, and then we come back and finish up the other parts of the lecture. Because we want to answer Pima's question too. Can you see this diagram here? Okay, can you see this diagram? I'm going to show you how to construct this diagram. Because maybe one day when you're in management, you may have to use that in your presentation. You may have to use it to justify why management should be happy that 10, 15 or 20% of their customers are angry. And you may have to justify to management why it's okay. That's okay. Okay, as long as we look after the 80%. And this is what it's about. Those 10 or 20%, they don't bring profitability. This is a cumulative profits of all your customer base. And this is a real graph of customers in an insurance company. Not all customers bring profits to the firm. And it applies to many organisations, not just insurance. And so I have another friend in Australia that worked in an insurance company. She still does. And her job was to actually look at the databases and find out how do we make these customers more profitable, or how to get rid of these if we cannot. So the big strategic mission of this person's role was to transform or remove customers. But in order to do that, they used a complex statistical program to try and predict which ones of these are likely to be transformable. Okay, based on their age, their demographics, where they worked, where they lived, and things like that. So there are real positions in large organisations today dedicated to statistically analysing the customer base, all in the name of more profitability. Okay, so organisations do this. They do this. It's not just in your textbook. Okay. Right, so now we have profitability analysis. Pima asked a question. I'll answer it very quickly now. One of the qualitative considerations of customer profitability analysis is that current unprofitable customers may be profitable in the future. All right, and so this insurance company, before they decided the customer was unprofitable, they looked at their characteristics, and based on assessment of customer characteristics over decades of their database analytics, they can predict whether a customer is going to be profitable in the future or not. So a lot of large companies use predictive analytics to screen out the future profitability from those that will not. Those that will be better in the future, those that will not. Okay, so very good question. That's a very important qualitative condition of what I'm teaching you today. It's 5 to 3. Let's just stop here. When I come back after the lecture, we go through a real example of how we do revenue analysis, then cost analysis, which culminates in profitability analysis. After that, then we're going to talk about sales variance analysis. So quick, have a break, 10 minutes, 3:05, we start again. Okay?
Can we join your talk tomorrow?
Of course. Yes. Yes, you can.
So we just go there and don't need to register or anything?
You know where to go?
Yeah, it's in Admiralty.
Admiralty Centre. I'll make an announcement at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Answer your question, yes. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Group making. Group making. Group forming.
Pardon?
Group making.
Group making.
For the product.
Oh, okay, back in a minute.